Okay, we had a great podcast today. We're back in a little bit of the drones again, which can't be all bad. Frank had a great lesson on his twin as usual, and Dick brought up some great comments on how to be an entrepreneur. Then I picked off and we took a look at some new farming techniques that I think are going to actually change the way we do farming and food stuff in America. And I also showed how you can make music for your videos that are royalty free. So let's get on with it. Hi, I'm Peter Brousseau, here back for 101 Small Business Mastermind. And again, we have with us today our stellar cadre. Say good morning, Dick.
Good morning, Dick.
Say good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Dick.
All right. Now, I have a surprise for you guys. You thought the drones had flown away. Well, not true. I got some more drones for us, and it's very interesting stuff. So let me get that queued up here.
112 operator. What is your emergency?
It's my dad. I think he had a heart attack. Please help. He's not breathing anymore.
Please stay calm. What's your name?
Joanna.
Good. Joanna, we've got your location. The ambulance drone is on its way. Remove his top shirt to uncover his torso.
Okay.
Great. Can you go to the nearest exit? The ambulance drone is almost there.
Okay. I'm outside.
I'll be talking through the drone now, so you can put down the phone. Now please pick up the drone and bring it to your father. You're doing great.
How cool is this?
Okay. Pull the jeans in. Now place the pads on your father's chest. Good. I can see that the pads are properly applied. Joanna, please stay clear of your father. We'll take it from here.
Wow. Wow.
Hi, I'm Alec Momon. I'm a graduate student at the TU Delft working on a project for Living Tomorrow and UZ Gent. Our vision is to improve current emergency infrastructure with a network of drones capable of saving lives. At over 100 kilometers per hour, these drones create an ultra-fast response system capable of increasing this survival chance from 8% to 80%. This is because the ambulance drone is not affected by current road infrastructure, but is capable of flying in a straight line, bringing down the average response time of an ambulance from 10 minutes to 1. We developed a new type of drone that is capable of folding into a very compact position. The drone essentially becomes a flying toolbox for your emergency supplies. Using advanced production techniques such as 3D printed microstructures and carbon fiber frame construction, we were able to achieve a very lightweight design. Our iterative process using design sketching, laser cutting and CNC milling allowed us to rapidly visualize our ideas. The result is an integrated solution that is clear in its orientation and friendly in appearance. Let's use drones for a good purpose. Let us use drones to save lives.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Boy, when I saw that, it was just shocking for me that I hadn't thought of that, you know. But gee, to have a person right there, be able to see the patient, talk you through things while the ambulance is still en route, you know, to defib or stop choking or whatever. Amazing. And I think that drone will carry, you know, a primitive set of medical supplies, you know, gauze, bandages, things like that, trauma bandages. Pretty cool though.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one then. Frank, did you want to weigh in on that?
No, I'm just thinking that is the most effective use of a drone you've shown so far to date.
I agree, and that's why I just couldn't not show that.
No, that was the most important use I've seen so far.
All
The,
right.
the, the others were fun. This is life-saving.
Yeah, this is life-saving, and
Right.
so let me see. Here we go. Another drone, guys. They could have used this in Iraq. Could check for bombs on the cars, all that stuff. So what's cool about that, I think, is the fact that you can go, right along under cars, right?
Yeah.
You can hug the ground, not being seen, not being heard, so to speak, right? Then when you get to target, you can pop up, take a good look at it, and pop back down and zoom off and go through a second story window and then come down the staircase, Just amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
That would be an awesome military type, drone. Or even for police too, I would imagine. If you got to get in close and see somebody, you send that in. All right, next one up here. And another drone. I had to watch this several times to try to understand what they were doing with this.
Hi, I'm JD, co-founder of XCraft and inventor of PhoneDrone. Last year we launched a successful Kickstarter campaign for the X Plus One, a next-generation UAV platform that combines vertical takeoff and landing capabilities with high-speed flight. Innovation is key at XCraft, and we've been working tirelessly at it. Out of this effort, another breakthrough was born. Introducing PhoneDrone. You may have seen other drones that are controlled by a smartphone, and PhoneDrone has that capability. But there is one key innovative difference. Your smartphone actually flies with the drone inside a universal protective case. We've designed PhoneDrone to be operated by anyone with a smartphone, no drone experience necessary. It works with all popular iOS and Android smartphones and utilizes many features already built into the phone, which allows it to be affordable. You can either fly PhoneDrone autonomously with a single phone or pair it with another device for real-time control and follow-me functions. a functioning prototype and wireframe of the app, but we need your support to make PhoneDrone a reality. If we are able to meet our goal, we can complete the app and start the manufacturing process. We really believe that PhoneDrone can redefine the personal drone and allow anyone with a smartphone to enjoy this extraordinary technology. So join us. Back PhoneDrone today and experience your new personal drone.
So that I thought was pretty clever. And you can see an application for a real estate agent. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, you could zoom and get a bird's eye view of the whole house and the property, and inside getting, you know, a really nice down shot of the kitchen or whatever. I mean, perfect for realtor, I would think, you know?
Yeah, well, I had my first real life experience with a drone yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at a ribbon cutting for the combined Indio and Laquita Chamber at Caldwell Bankers in Indian Wells. And they always have everybody standing on the proprietors that cut the ribbon and all. And I'm standing there, they're taking pictures. And so I look up and right above the start, there's a drone flying and flying all around, taking, you know, obviously taking pictures of the thing and then flew up high and everything. So after the ceremony, I walked over to talk to the guy, and he's just moving in from Utah, and it's Fly High Digital. He wants to start down here. He's a commercial drone pilot, and I talked to him for quite a while, and I mentioned our podcast, and he said he'd love to be on it, and I just waited for. He didn't have his new card, so I don't have it. I said he's supposed to email me his address, so it was pretty interesting. And that's one of the reasons, one of the uses he's talking about. Because I said, "Are you?" I asked him, "You would call a banker?" He said, "No, I'm not, but I'm doing some footage. I want to show him what I can do." So it was pretty interesting.
Interesting. Yes, I'd be interested in getting a hold of him too.
Yeah.
You know, for the black belt test coming up.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have some drones.
I was thinking of that. Yeah.
Well,
if I don't get his email today, I'll call him. I have a phone number. I think it's the right one.
excellent. Or you can send it to me, Dick, and I can cold call him.
Yeah.
Frank, you want to say anything about that one?
Yeah, that phone drone. So you need two phones.
Well, not really. They're showing the remote, you know, tethering to another device.
Right.
But you can plan the whole thing, put it in, and it takes off and does the whatever it's going to do. You know. So, but I really like the idea. It's the first thing we've seen of a drone being used for real estate, for business. You know, now other than, of course, the ambulance one. So.
Well, I saw a security safety usage in that one. That girl jogging by herself with the drone following her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
You know,
your kids are off by themselves. You got a drone watching them, filming back to you. And,
Person of interest.
yeah.
You know, and another thought too, when I walk out here and it's desolate, I have a freaking heart attack, I'm sunk, you know?
Yeah.
At least if you had a drone following, you realize something was wrong, you know, they alert people. But matter of fact, there's something coming up here just on that same note. So let me keep going here. Here's another good one.
Magic Stick, the most powerful PC stick ever
That's
made.
kind of like a high-powered Roku
First to run
stick.
the all-new 14 nanometer Intel Cherry Trail processor. An ultra
Well, in a way,
USB
that's true, but
with
it,
over 10 gigabytes per second speed.
But the fact that you can turn your entire TV into a high-speed computer, you know, something you can sit and work on if you wanted to.
Control your Magic Stick.
That's pretty
using
cool.
a
How does it tie in? Does it tie into your files and everything?
Yeah. I don't know how, but you know, it's there.
So it's so
Use your favorite
again,
apps.
I have a smart TV. I've got wireless, but I'm limited to what my satellite carrier can provide for me for
4K
YouTube and those other things, right?
And watch it.
Well, yes, if you get a Roku, both Dick and I have Rokus.
Shop online on your
It
TV.
allows you. Roku's kind of an intermediate that puts you out on the web, so you can get the Hulu or any of the premium channels, or go to YouTube and watch anything you want. So, but
What will this Magic Stick do, though?
well, it makes it not just a portal; it's a whole computer. I mean, literally, it's like,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns that TV you have into a computer, it sounds like, yeah.
yeah, you can run.
It turns the TV into a monitor, right?
Well, yes, but yeah, it's really the computer, and the TV is the monitor. Clearly,
Right, 'cause everything's on that stick.
correct.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this whole section, my A block, instead of being business advice, is now kind of cruising the world to educate what's out.
What was the price of that Magic Stick?
I don't know. I didn't go over to the Indiegogo to take a look. It's not in production yet. Obviously, they're looking for donors.
Right.
know, But that in itself is interesting too. We've talked about that, and Dick did a whole presentation, two of them actually, I think, on that. So let's go to the next one here. And but I thought that was interesting. All right, here we go.
We built this device to help save lives. It's called Athena, and it's designed to reduce attacks against women. Athena is the next generation of wearable technology and helps empower women to live their lives boldly without fear. Here's how it works. If you feel threatened, you press the button on the device. That one action sends text messages to your family and friends with your location, and it sounds a loud alarm to help prevent an attack in the first place.
We wanted to invent something better, something that takes advantage of today's technology and our social networks. So we developed Athena, smart, fashionable jewelry that can help deter attackers and instantly call for help.
We designed the device to be easy to use and elegant to wear. It's about the size of a $50 and can be clipped onto your body to suit your lifestyle. And we aren't going to stop there. We don't want to just put a Band-Aid on the problem. We want to help get to the root cause of violence against women.
That's why we're partnering with nonprofits that teach empathy and healthy relationships to young children, programs which have been proven to decrease violence. Our goal is that one day devices like Athena will no longer be necessary. But until then, we will do everything we can to help make a difference.
Our team is dedicated to creating a world where everyone can live their lives boldly and without fear. Join our campaign and help us roar for good.
Now that's an interesting wearable, you know.
Yeah.
But anybody could wear that and it would work, you know. So like when we go out walking or something like that.
Yeah.
You could immediately call for help like that pretty easily.
Yeah.
What do you think, Frank?
Wow. Again, when I heard protection for women, I paid a lot of attention to it. But it has a GPS, as it tells people, it sends text messages to whoever you put on the list.
Right.
And it sends out a loud siren to let people know there's something going on here.
Correct.
Wow. Interesting.
Now they have personal alarms like that, you know, but nothing that connects to the web. Remember, my whole goal here is to find technology that is doing something cool, but it's hooked to the web or hooked to that. And what a great business model too. And they ought to open up their eyes. I bet there's an elderly call for that, not just women. You know, there's a lot of elder abuse out there. So, interesting thought.
Yeah.
You want to weigh in on that before we go to the next one?
No, again, it's a great safety tool that you'd love your kids to be wearing at all time, and it's got multiple applications.
A thought crossed my mind, Dick. So maybe your wife would have one, and you might wear one. And when you get mad at her, or she gets mad at you, she lights this thing off.
Yeah.
Lights it off, and there's a screaming battle going on.
Yeah.
could put a whole new twist. Domestic arguments.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one here. And
Chris. Hi, I'm Christian. 5 years ago, we ventured out to create a small wireless device to help you keep track of your items using a smartphone.
Since that time, we've worked tirelessly to perfect the technology. Today, we're proud to announce.
Now, guys, we saw one similar to tracking, but watch what this does.
All your items.
Tracker Bravo is a coin-sized device that easily attaches to a purse, slips inside a wallet, sticks to a bike, or attaches to anything you would like to track. Using the Tracker app, you can see how far away you are from your items. And with the tap of your finger, you can ring the device and find the lost item in seconds. And it works both ways. If you can't find your phone, press the button on the device and cause your phone to ring, even on silent mode.
Now, how cool is that?
In case something goes missing, the app notifies our Crowd GPS network to search for your lost item. If your item comes within 100 feet of one of our tens of thousands of other Tracker users' phones, you will receive a GPS update of where your item was last seen. Tracker Bravo. Your search is over.
At Juice Factory, we're all artists, and design is in the core of our thinking and creative process. You see, we spent a lot of time in crafting something that
Okay, so what do you think of that?
Well, great application.
Yeah.
So,
You know, we saw the one-way version, but not the two-way version.
Right.
And, you know, I know my son-in-law apparently loses his wallet quite often. You know, what a great tool. I don't think he ever loses his phone, though. What a great tool to be able to go find those stuff, you know?
well, like I said, I think the senior world is a great open market. That loses things all the time.
I think the three old fat white guys, wise white guys might put their seal of approval. We ought to make a seal of approval for these things, you know? So, all right, next up, we'll keep going here. We're almost done with that.
At Juice Factory, we're all artists, and design is in the core of our thinking and creative process. You see, we spent a lot of time in crafting something that is revolutionary in its design and works just as great. Today, we're introducing Clicker.
Clicker is a mini robot for your iPhone 6, 6S, and Samsung S6 that fits right in your pocket. It is an extremely advanced modular case which will have a lasting impact on how people capture, organize, and share their moments. The ultimate integration of hardware and software makes Clicker smarter than your smartphone.
Perfect 360 shots, amazing 4K video, stable time-lapse, and fully controlled distance group and individual shots can now be taken in style with Clicker. We believe that this is the biggest leap forward in history of connected smartphone devices.
Clicker boasts a fully detachable 16-megapixel rotatable camera with flash that connects with your phone via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. I mean, this thing can really take some amazing HD photos and full 4K quality video. Two wirelessly controlled custom motors give Clicker its precise 360-degree pan and tilt movements for completely skillful distance shots. A designated battery and 16 gigs of internal memory make Clicker the smallest action camera on the market. Clicker has built right into it a smart selfie stick, which provides up to 2 feet of extension, so you get the right angles and distance necessary for capturing the best group and individual selfies. When detached and laid horizontally, it acts as a resting base for the camera, which provides complete wireless control over your shots for up to 10 feet. We call it the wand because it truly creates magic. Every time I use it, I can't believe it's actually happening.
At only 6.9 millimeter thick, with a built-in 2400 milliamp battery, Clicker makes the thinnest battery case on the planet, which more than doubles your battery life. Another really cool thing that we've added is the magnetic charging system, which lets you charge your device without the worry of it getting all tangled up.
The other thing that we're really excited about is our very own photo and media app, which allows you to capture, share, and organize all from a single app, and we call it Capture.
We're introducing, for the first time ever, a zero-click share mechanism. Just tap on the picture and drag it to the folder you want, and it's shared. Drag and drop to organize your memories the same way.
You can zoom in and out, control the pan and tilt from a distance of up to 10 feet, right from the same app. Panoramic, virtual reality, and 360 shots are stitched automatically for a truly vivid experience.
CAPTCHA has a built-in lock feature that lets you simply drag a photo into a password-secured folder for absolute privacy.
Clicker is completely modular. With a distinct charging port, the wand and the camera can be separately charged without the need of having the case or a phone. Simply put the camera on a motorized hub, connect the wand to the charger, and you have a separate camera system. This means three things. You can have the wand and the camera separately that connects with every smartphone via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. The Clicker battery case, or the best of all.
Oh, so what do you think of that?
Experience.
Wow. Well, it's just the speed and the power and the 16 gigs. Are you kidding me? I mean, I come back from the days when I was at Aetna Insurance in Hartford, and we had huge discs that we used to plug and play, switch out, and magnetic tape they used to spin around. Wow, we come a long way.
We sure have, and to have a system like that you can set off and program, you know, yeah. In my search, I've seen some other versions of that where it actually, theirs tracks you. You set it up to track you. Wherever you walk, this thing is turning to see you, you know, constantly. So it's pretty interesting. It gets away from having to have a cameraman, you know.
Yeah.
And one last one, just because at least one of us is diabetic here. Who'd have thunk this out? Here we go.
Glucase is the world's first smartphone case glucose meter. It contains everything found in a traditional glucose meter kit. Swipe to dispense test strip. Place finger under the phone, unlock and engage lancing mechanism. Lance for a small sample. Place the sample on the test strip. A reading will instantly appear on your app via Bluetooth. Readings are paired with contextual data like diet, activity, and medications. Your care team will receive contextualized readings in real time and will be alerted when readings are either too high or too low, enabling them to send targeted advice directly to your phone.
Every 17 seconds, someone's diagnosed with diabetes. And the United Health Group and other experts are predicting that more than half of all Americans will become diabetic or pre-diabetic in the next 6 years. You know, it's rapidly growing, unfortunately.
Two of my uncles have diabetes, also have a cousin who actually passed away from diabetes.
A lot of my family members unfortunately have diabetes that runs in our family on my mom's and my dad's side.
I came up with the idea after losing a loved one to diabetes. Those memories of, you know, her life being punctuated by constant trips to the site to measure her blood sugar really hung with me, right? And really I was trying to figure out ways in which we can minimize that, to allow people like her to live their lives freely, you know, untethered to these devices so that they can actually focus on what matters most to them.
We figured, hey, if it's a big issue carrying your glucometer, let's put this into a phone case.
This would really liberate.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
These guys are just thinking out of the box out there, aren't they?
They sure are. They sure are. They're all, you know, they're reacting to real life events and coming up with a solution. You know, it's amazing.
And hook it to technology. I mean, to the doctors. I mean, I can go get my pad and paper that I scribble on for to track my stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. It could be going right to the vets. Of course, the vets probably wouldn't want it, but you know, some doctor, if I had a doctor who really give a darn about me, might want to know those things. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Very interesting.
That was my I have a bunch more to do, but I thought, well, we're going to take too long.
Hey, there's that sound.
This week in the news.
How long we had to twin this week in the news? People who make news and we can learn from the business lessons. This week's twin is, hey, Rel Del Muro. Thank you for the small business lesson. And the question always is,
who is Del Muro? Who the heck is this guy?
Well, Ray was born in Pasadena. Okay. Local boy.
Around the corner.
His father was a fashion designer, and his mother managed a string of retail stores. So as Ray states in one interview he did recently, he said, you know what, I had no choice. I was meant to be a creative and be a technical guy at the same time. And as a child, Ray lived it. He loved to draw, and he loved to play with Lincoln Logs and Legos, and would make stuff with Lincoln Logs and Legos. And he was fascinated, even as a child, with the works of a Dutch artist named M.C. Escher. I never knew who M.C. Escher was. But what fascinated Ray was that M.C. Escher blended the best of geometry and art, you know, with the circles and the spirals and everything else. So, and Ray, as most young boys who were inquisitive, he would take whatever tools he could find, and he would take stuff apart and modify them. There was only one problem. He didn't know how to put them back together again. So they were always trying to find ways to put it back together. But when it was time to go to college, Ray didn't know what to do. Whether to pursue a degree in art because he loved creating stuff, or a degree in business. So he decided on a degree in business because he felt he would do his artwork in his spare time. And he chose Cal Poly's San Luis Obispo because they offered a major in, and I never heard of this major, called Industrial Technology, because it was a blend of both business and engineering, which he was a good engineer. His first job after college was as a manufacturing engineer for an aerospace company. A lot of kids did that. Ray was now in his late 20s, and he had worked for this aerospace company for 5 years, and he was on a fast track. He was asked to take a new position as Director of Manufacturing Technology for 16 plants worldwide. So he was doing. Ray was obviously really good at his job. He was single. He was living a block away from the ocean in Huntington Beach, again, right up the street here.
Wow.
And he was making lots of money. What better could there be in life, right? I mean, the Beach Boys and everything, he had the babes. But he wasn't satisfied. He said, you know what? I was called to do a lot, much more than this. And he was saving money to buy his house. And he said, screw it. He quit his job. And he took the money, his life savings, and he traveled the world for 1 year, visiting 39 cities in 21 countries, experiencing and learning and the art and the engineering and all the stuff that he was into. But you know what happens when you do that for a year? You run out of money. So he came back, and he took a job in Phoenix working on automated engineering, and he developed this great skill called Six Sigma something other. You're familiar with that, I'm sure.
Six Sigma, yeah.
Yes.
And that was his big thing.
So he's the one who developed that. Huh?
Well, no, he learned it. He did not. He wasn't developing. He learned it. But 3 months later, he said, baloney. He said, I'm still not satisfied. So he quit his job again. And he took a job as a bartender. And he said, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. So he took entrepreneurial classes at a local community college. Isn't that clever? A local community college. Okay. And it was as working at a bartender that he started appreciating empty wine bottles. Every wine bottle was different based on the vintner that they worked for. Every wine bottle had different colors, different thicknesses, different shapes, different, again, from an engineering perspective. And each wine bottle, he thought, had a story. So he bought a kit online, and he started transferring those wine bottles into glasses. You know how they cut them, and you have a glass? And he said, but back then, the glasses had sanded rims, so they weren't really, they were pretty, but they weren't functional because you couldn't drink from them, even though they were called glasses. So being, as he called himself, a closet engineer, he said, there's got to be a better way. He went back to his Legos and things. And so Ray devised a way to melt the wine bottle rims so they became smooth and polished. And he was able to turn these empty wine bottle bottoms, okay, if you will, into drinking glasses, vases, planters, carafes, candle holders, and the works. He said, I've got a company here. No more working for anybody else. And he started his first company called Refresh Glass. And that's what Refresh Glass does. They turn empty wine bottles, which, by the way, he gets from the local bars and restaurants in Phoenix area. It's really in Tempe, Phoenix area. He gets about $20,000 a month from the local places. And he turns those into works of functional art utility, drinking glass and so forth. And he's done quite well. To date, Refresher Glass has refreshed over 800,000 bottles of wine. Okay, on the way to their goal that he promotes on his website to 10 million bottles of wine. And Ray now has some very prestigious clients that are buying his wine bottle glasses. Ritz-Carlton, Hyatt, Wolfgang Puck. Okay. But it's his latest creative idea that caught my mind. And it's this idea that is having a major impact on the real estate business. Okay. As a closing gift to their clients, realtors now go to Refresh Glass, and they order a 4-pack of wine glasses with the owner's name etched in the glass, the owner of the new home. You tell me they're not going to use that when they're having friends over to their new house and so forth. But then he also makes a branded sleeve that goes around the glass with the realtor's brand on it. This keeps that realtor in the top of mind every time the new homeowner uses the upscale wine bottle glasses, because it has their name etched to it. And everyone they serve a drink to, guess what they see? The name Russo and also the name of Bentley Real Estate, if you will. Talk about owning real estate in the client's mind. So my small business lesson is, hey, any realtor can sell a house and then send flowers when the new owners move in, which is a very nice thing to do. But you know what happens when the flowers die? So does your marketing. Okay. Ray Del Muro offers realtors so much more for their marketing dollars. So my small business question is, what can you offer your clients to keep you at the top of their mind? And what can you offer your clients that keeps them at the top of the mind of their customers? And I am going to end with a quote from Maya Angelou, which I think is awesome. People easily forget what you say, easily, but they never forget how you made them feel. Ray Del Muro helps his realtor clients help their clients feel really special because he gave them glasses you can get nowhere else, etched with their name on them to serve their guests a drink. And gentlemen, that's my twin for this week about Ray Del Muro.
That opens up the whole thinking of things we could purchase. I mean, InfoCard could buy a set of those glasses, with my client's name etched in the darn thing.
Right.
Doesn't have to be a realtor.
Yeah.
Right. And anybody that you want to leave a lasting impression and something that they'll remember you. Again, it's called real estate. Your info card, I still have it in my drawer. I throw business cards away, but I still have yours.
Right.
And you own that real estate on my desk.
Yeah.
In my drawer, right?
Well, I'm going to look them up. I'm going to look them up and see what that costs because, you get some good clients and it's certainly worth it to have something like that done.
Sure.
Yeah, and what's nice is that it'd be easy to say, hey, Syringa Realty, and give it to them. Then I say, oh crap, it's one of those glasses that you used to get it we're old enough. Remember, gas stations used to give away glasses.
Yep.
But he puts the client's last name etched.
Right.
Makes it just
priceless.
There you go. That's the term. Thank you.
It's priceless. And I can honestly see that etched up by their lips somewhere where they're picking it up, right? Down on the base, you could have your logo etched in the base.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much. And not bad for a kid who didn't know what it was. What he wanted to be was his own boss. But he didn't know at the time because he was making too much money. Living in Huntington Beach, a block from the ocean, being single, making lots of money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I
mean,
he didn't have a good
called paradise.
Yeah, he didn't have a good mentor.
Now, again, by the way, and how I heard about him, let me tell you how do I heard about him. He was on TV the other day, and that's why I thought it'd be good for you, and I never mentioned it. Why? He was very good at what he does. He's an engineer with a creative mind.
Well, do you have some wine bottles or corks you've been wanting to reuse, but you just don't know how? Up next, some very clever and interesting ways to reuse them, including keeping your plants fresh. We'll show you how when we come back. Well, if you have some leftover wine bottles and corks from all of those crazy holiday parties, don't toss them out, because there's so many ways to reuse them. And to show us how, a few crafty ideas. I'm going to call him the Craft King, Ray Del Muro, right? Because I'm the queen, you're the king. Get
nice.
it? Okay.
I like it.
Anyway, of Refresh Glass. Welcome, and I love all of these great ideas.
Thank you so much.
Okay, but you're not a crafty guy originally. What were you earlier?
I was an engineer for an aerospace company.
Really? And instead of thinking about aerospace, you've been thinking about corks.
Right. I wanted to find a way to combine the passion of art and the structure of engineering to form something that helps the community at the same time.
You know what? This is a brilliant idea, Ray, and I'm gonna show everybody at home, because you created a company based just on that. It's called Refresh Glass, and what you do is you not only recycle them, but you make them functional.
Absolutely. We make carafes, self-watering planters, and glasses in a few different sizes, in addition to some other decorative items.
Now, how does this self-planter work? This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to find a way to use the entire bottle. So this is the top half inverted in the bottom half, and a string extends up into the soil, watering it for about up to 2 weeks.
This is a great idea. Great idea. Okay, and so you can just fill this up and let it go for, gosh, like you said, 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Some of the other ideas, besides recycling the glass, you're also recycling the corks, and these are really cool. What is that sphere down there?
This is a sphere that we got from a craft store that we just used a hot glue gun to put the corks on it to make a sphere ball.
So that is like a styrofoam ball under there?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a 4-inch ball.
Oh, okay. And this is a neat idea, making initials.
Yeah, this is fun. We made this for you this weekend for Sonoran Living. So these letters are commonly available at your local craft store.
Absolutely, and you just glue it right on there. And now you're reusing everything, even the labels.
Exactly.
And I see that you decoupaged a frame there with some
I did. Those are my beautiful sisters, and so I wanted to find a creative way to decorate the frame.
I love this idea. Okay, here's yet one more idea. Trivets, and just a myriad of different sizes. And do you have to even some of them out, or?
You know what? Corks are they only come in about 2 or 3 different sizes, so I just picked a few that were all the same sizes to make it easier.
Okay, and you just use a simple hoop like this?
Yep.
That's the industrial look, and that's an embroidery hoop.
It is.
Yeah.
It is all commonly available at your local store, and it couldn't be any easier to put together.
Okay, so you're going to show us real quick then how to make these. These are really super cute coasters, okay, and we're just starting with a little piece of cork.
Right, and these are also available at the local craft store. They come in packages of 4. They're only a couple bucks.
Okay, so what do we do?
Okay, so what I've done is I've cut corks along the length, and I used 4 of them. Each coaster requires 4. And then we take our super glue that you could find at your hardware store or at your craft store, and then we start to place them in a pattern like so.
You're going to start right in the corner and the edge right away,
I like to start in the corner because you're going to end up with small slivers on these 2 sides that we're going to cut off with our razor blade.
Oh, okay. And I like the fact, like on this one here, you have these 2 that match, but you can kind of mix them up, and you can do whatever you want, right?
Absolutely.
And then what you did afterwards is, after you put them all on, let's just lay them out real quick so you can kind of see, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have some room left over.
Exactly.
Like right here, this edge and then another edge, because you don't want to cut more corks like in quarters, so what do you just trim it?
Exactly.
That is really cool.
We take a straight edge like this, and then we just gently cut around the edges, and after the glue sets, you will have beautiful coasters for your home.
Now, this is a really neat, I bet your packaging is even recyclable, right?
Of course.
Okay, where can people find these?
We have our products at all 5 Whole Foods locations in the Valley, in addition to Practical Art, which is on Central and Camelback.
Because it really is art. It was just a really clever way of reusing wine bottles. So, Ray, thank you very much for sharing your ideas and good information. Of course, we have more information on SonoranLiving.com.
But he didn't know marketing, he didn't know sales, he didn't know bookkeeping, didn't know operations, didn't know this, didn't know legal. He joined a CEO mentor group, monthly mentor group, to help people become his virtual advisory board. And that's how he came across my pick. And I said, well, that's why I look more into Ray Del Muro. There was so much more. I prefer talking about how he went from a kid to doing what he did, as opposed to being a guy who needs who needs what we offer.
Right.
Entrepreneurial help.
Yep.
Yep. So that's how he crossed my desk, if you will, the desk in my mind. And I said, and when I looked into it, there's so much more than just a guy looking for CEO help. It's the guy who got to where he is today by realizing that he didn't want to work for somebody else.
Interesting. Dick?
Yeah, well, when you mentioned Six Sigma, I had nightmares flashback.
Nightmares? Not flashback, nightmares.
Unbelievable. I remember when when that became, you had to be Six Sigma to deal with the government and to deal with certain companies that was a requirement. And it was the most convoluted thing I've ever seen. And I was put in charge of trying to develop that in our company. It was impossible. The paperwork was unbelievable. But there were certain companies, if you weren't Six Sigma, don't send a bid or don't send a sales guy. You had to be Six Sigma.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember those days well.
Yeah.
All right, Dick, you got some entrepreneurial
Yeah,
lessons?
I just got a little bit here. I was, I try to read articles or books or something that, at least once an hour a day just to educate myself. And I came across this article that said, 5 simple questions successful people ask themselves every day. And I read the questions, and I thought some were okay, some weren't. But I asked myself, what are the questions I should be asking myself? If not every day, I tend to evaluate every day. But I came up with 5 basic questions that I ask myself and I try to live by. And I just want to go over them real quickly. The first one is, have I made myself an expert on my product or service? And how do I present that to prospective clients? Frank, you talk about that all the time, is grabbing that client. And one, I have to really be the expert of the product I'm trying to sell or service, but in my case, service I'm trying to sell. And, how do I present that as a value proposition in, 30 seconds or 7 seconds or less? And that's something I've been working on, almost since I met Frank. And so I really think that's something that you should ask yourself, no matter what your business is. Are you the expert? By expert, I don't mean if it's a facial cream that you know every ingredient in it. No, I'm talking about knowing the product and how do you present that product to your client is very important. And I'm constantly working on that because, as you all know, I do a lot of mixer work and I present sometimes the same group every month, so I try to come up with different things. So that's one thing I think is really important that I thought was good. The second one, and this was one that was in this article, so I'm just going to basically read it. It says, do I recognize I am making mistakes? And I added this part, and do I learn from my mistakes? And this article said most patterns of success include plenty of failure. That's completely normal, even healthy. However, the important thing is that you're learning and you're really making the same mistake twice. When you hit a roadblock, take the time to evaluate what went wrong. And I think that's really good advice. I'll just read a little story of a mistake I made, not in the business, but I was doing stuff for the DAV, trying to get some marketing things for the expo that's coming up. And I was working with a local printer, and I was back for 2 or 3 times. When I went to go place the order, she quoted me a price, and for whatever reason, I thought it was the wrong price. So I said, no, that's not what you quoted. And I got rude. To be very honest with you, I got rude. And then over the weekend, I realized I made a mistake. She was right. So I called her Monday morning, and I gave her a very sincere apology for being rude to her, that she was right. And not to belabor it, I ended up doing business with her, but she thanked me. She said, no one has ever done that. Called me back and apologized for being wrong. And I said to my wife, we're talking about, the money. I told her, I said, I owe this lady an apology. And my wife said, well, you hardly know. I said, no, that doesn't matter. I was rude and I was wrong. So I need to apologize. And I put that in there only that you have to evaluate yourself very honestly. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Admit it and find out why and what can you do to fix it and go forward with it. So I think that's a real key thing is so you're not living in la la land. you're living in, Reelsville, and, you have to know when you've made a mistake. The next thing I came up with is, am I constantly pushing my boundaries beyond my comfort zone? And you can take that in two ways. One, the comfort zone is some people can't get up and speak in front of people at all. They hate it. They're shy or whatever. You're going out of your comfort zone when you do that. And I think everybody knows that. I look at it beyond that because at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, do I do one more thing to help my business, or do I sit down and watch TV and read or whatever? Your comfort zone is also, especially when you're working for yourself or your small company, whatever. It's 3 o'clock. It's hot out. I don't need to go out and do anything. I really try to make sure that by the end of the day, I've done everything I could that day to help my business grow and be successful. So there's two parts of comfort zone. One is, if you don't like speaking in public, you need to do that to get used to it, because that is something you can get it's almost acquired. You can do it enough times, the fear of doing it goes away. If you don't like going to mixers, go to mixers and force yourself to do them. That's the other part of the comfort zone. So I look at it as two ways. And the next one, which I ask myself, not daily, but often, is, what is my game plan? And do I take the time to review my strategy to see what is working and what is not working? I'm not sure if it's you, Frank. I know a lot of people have said it. Don't fall in love with your strategy. Be very, very critical in reviewing your strategy to make sure it's the right strategy. You're getting the desired results. It's almost like a mini business plan. What are the desired results? Make sure you're getting them. If you're not, adjust it, find out where they're wrong and why it's not working, and keep redoing that. And that is something that I do a mini version of daily, weekly, monthly. And Peter said sometimes I'm my own worst critic, and I am. And I've always been. I believe that I should be. I don't need to pat myself on the back when I've had a good day. I need to ask myself, what more could I have done to be successful? So, and the last one is, and we all go through this, and I go through it a lot, is, do I still believe I can do this? Do I still believe in myself? You have a couple of bad days, you have a couple people say a job there and tell you your product sucks or whatever. You start asking yourself, am I cut out for this? And I honestly just said it to my wife about 3 weeks ago. I had a bad week. I said, I don't know if this is for me. But everybody's going to get self-doubt. And the most important ingredient of success is belief in yourself and what you're striving to do. That's really you have to, if you don't believe, if you're standing over that tee shot or you're going to hit a driver, if you don't think positive thoughts, you're going to hit it in the water. And if you walk into a meeting and you think, man, I don't know if I'm good enough for this, guess what? You won't be good enough for it. And, I think the last bit of advice I have is, just take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself if the answer is yes to all the questions above. Now, you can make up your own. I made up 4 out of those 5 are stuff that I made up that wasn't in the article. You need to determine what are the critical points that you need to address daily, and make sure you're asking yourself, are you doing them? And look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. That's how you, as a businessman, entrepreneur, or a leader, improve and grow and get better. So that's it.
All right. Frank, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I like the thing about not falling in love, and I'm not sure it was me, because I'm the biggest offender of that. When I create something, Picasso's got to step aside, okay? And wait till he sees it. And what I force myself to do, and it saved me so much, is I work something and I work on until I think it's the greatest thing since Picasso, and then I force myself to not do anything with it until the next morning.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much crappier it looks the next day. It's because you fall in love with your creativity and your ideas and your breakthroughs.
Right.
And then you say, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. So I force myself to sleep on it. And but I think it's great advice. Don't fall in love with what you're until you slept on it for a day. Then look at
it. I could take the analogy to Frank and I are both big pro football fans, and the coaches spend all week working with their assistant coaches, developing a game plan, get their players bought into it, the whole thing. 15 minutes into the game, if your game plan was, I'm going to run the ball every time, and every time it's failing, at halftime, you got to make adjustments. And the best coaches, your coach, Bill Belichick, adjust at halftime, adjust their game plan based upon what the other team's doing, and they come out in the second half a better team. And that's kind of what Frank was just saying. Sleep on it, and then you'll see if you have to adjust it going forward. So, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, I think, is taking your idea and bouncing it off Brain Trust, That's what happened with, with Frank in his Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you thought you had it in the bag.
Oh yeah. And then you said, "But I know." Then you opened the curtains. I said, "Whoa, I can do all that." Thank you. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's the real value of our relationships, that we do that all the time with each other.
Absolutely.
So I want to. Deviate ever so slightly, and we're running long, but I've never shown anybody or you guys how I make music for our videos, have I? I don't think I have. And my new client had this video on a website of his dad, who's dead, and we're kind of immortalizing him. And I got and downloaded that, and then in the middle of this, or at the aft end, they had just the pictures camera going over his artwork, and 2 different sections with no sound whatsoever. So I thought, well, I better dust off my how I make music and put it out there. He didn't like the first one, but there were 2 others that he did like. So I wrote some more music yesterday. But let me show you the program. It's kind of interesting how you do this. And the reason why you want to do this is that you have you cannot use copyrighted material up on YouTube. You get locked out. So here, what you're looking at is a canvas that you literally paint on. Okay, I'll show you how it is here, but you can paint on it. Let me get back out here again. Click up here, and so you make music by literally finding these clips that you can listen to, and they're just little snippets. Okay, and there's all kinds of genres, things that I purchased to paint on, but here's what it sounds like. If you wanted something slow, let me show you another one here, and that's not my most favorite one in the world here. Here's another one. And this will be underneath the soundtrack, or underneath the video track. So you can get kind of crazy in your work. Here's another one. Completely different genre. So how cool is that, huh?
Yeah.
You can, you paint, literally, you paint the distance you need to go. In this case, I needed 3 minutes and 4 seconds, one track, So you can, so you can get kind of crazy with it all, but it is, it gets fun to do this, but this is what you have to do. Let's see.
Now, when you create a piece of music, can someone, it's on YouTube, can someone take that and use it?
Yeah, it's copyrighted, but YouTube doesn't know it, so.
Yeah.
This is a cross between jazz and dance, I think. And you can see it's get kind of complicated, but it builds on itself nicely. So anyway, pretty interesting. You just start with a blank sheet and off you go. Here's another one. You can see how you can decide to set up anything like that. It's pretty cool.
What's the program you're using to do that with?
It's called Acid Music.
Okay. That's the software?
Yeah, that's the software. Still available. So, another Sony product. I have a lot of Sony product stuff, and it's priceless to be able to write, and I got 13 music albums out because of this, and I use it as a therapy, frankly. I'd get out my favorite cocktail of choice and just have at it and try to take memories and then write music to my memory, which later, of course, played right into if you're going to build websites or you're going to do videos for people and you need intros and you need, soundbite pieces, where you're going to get them, and, you build your own, learn to build your own.
So it's called Music from the Couch.
Yes, from the lounge.
Yeah.
From the lounge with a drink in hand.
There you go.
The software is actually waterproof too, so.
Sounds good.
All right, one last thing I want to show, and then okay, you should see lettuce.
Yeah.
This is a robotic farm that will harvest 30,000 heads of lettuce a day.
A day?
A day. So, you get all these people, saying that there are jobs and stuff, or who's going to pick the cabbage? Well, I think we just learned who's going to pick the cabbage. And, extremely efficient, controlling the water, everything, very efficient. And this is in Japan. But look at this. This is the farm of the future, I believe. And you won't be seeing tractors tilling up stuff anymore. What you'll see is people tending these things and harvesting 30,000 heads of lettuce a day. Can you believe that?
Wow.
A lot of lettuce.
Yes, and of course we live out here where we have a lot of produce, as you guys know. I mean, I could see every one of those in, build a factory and literally, plant this stuff. I don't think it would work too well for corn, maybe tall stuff, but certainly cabbage, broccoli, onions, carrots could all be done in this way, and lettuce, of course. And I think you could probably grow lettuce year-round, because it's all environmentally controlled. So it's never too hot, never too cold. We'll extend our growing seasons dramatically and our fruit production, I think.
Speaking of growing, quick story. Mark Kelly, I think that's his name, just came down from spending almost a year in space. He landed last night. Yeah. And he was up there, obviously, for a year. He grew 2 inches while he was up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's really accurate to say he grew. I think, the same reason when you go to bed at night, your vertebrae have been pounded upon and they're close and they start to separate, without that pounding. And you actually...
They said his spine grew.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not so sure of that yet. My thinking might be that the joints and stuff have been so relaxed that they haven't been compacted.
What I heard was that without the gravitational pull, he grew the 2 inches and he'll shrink over time.
Oh, see, I missed the shrinking part. I didn't.
He'll shrink.
Okay. Well, then
the gravitational
forget about it. Forget it.
Yeah, well, what is true is he is younger than his twin now.
Yeah.
I could probably calculate how young, but they say if you have a set of twins, receptionists in this case, or secretaries, one on the ground floor and one at a 78th floor level, and they worked there for 40 years, the one on the top is 1 second younger than the one on the bottom.
Yeah, they mentioned that he's younger. Yeah.
Right, and I could probably calculate how younger he is, or somebody's already made that calculation. Because not only that, for the low gravitational area, time actually moves slower, but also the higher speed you go, time moves slower.
Yeah.
Which for those scientist types out there, Einstein predicted it, and it wasn't until we could put a satellite, or I guess it was an atomic clock, that they flew as high as they could, and yeah. Anyway, getting off track, but all right. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, let's end. Speaking of being young, let's end this podcast while I'm still young. Let's
All right, hang on.
All right.